Hello and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Vanessa, this is Nessa CX Beauty, and today we're going to be doing a kind of first impression / review of the brand new e.l.f. Mint Melt collection. Now, I did not pick up everything in the collection, but I picked up like the main pieces that I thought people would be interested in. So I did pick up the whipped face mask, which retails for $8. I did pick up the Minty Fresh Cooling Cleanser, which also retails for $8. And then I picked up the two bite-sized quads, the one in Mint to Be and Chocolate Mint, each of them retailing for $4 each. And lastly, I picked up the Cooling Face Primer, which is so cool. Y'all will see later. And it also retails for $8. So this is a pretty inexpensive collection. They did also come out with like shadow sticks, lip glosses, and a brush set. But I did not pick those up. So I'm sorry if you came to see that. But I wanted to let y'all know sooner than later that I did not have those items. But we are going to start off using the face wash and the mask first, but I will also have timestamps down below depending on whether or not you are interested in seeing these two products or the 3 makeup products. So if you guys are interested in timestamps, you know where to go. But without further ado, we're gonna head into the review.
Alright, so first off, heading in with the cleanser. It's a foam cleanser. It smells like vanilla and mint. The scent is very faint and it didn't irritate my nose, and my nose is very sensitive, but it did make my skin feel nice, smooth, and clean. Very good first impression on this one. Next up, heading in with the whipped mask. This was definitely a little bit hard to spread around with my rubber brush. I feel like if I would have used my fingers, it would have been better, but we're in too deep at this point. This smelled the exact same as the cleanser, except it was a little bit more harsh. It did irritate my nose a bit, so I did want to note that. But it made my face feel so smooth. I enjoyed this mask so much.
Okay, so now we're gonna head into swatches. The first quad we're gonna swatch is the Mint to Be quad. And then the second quad we're gonna swatch is the Chocolate Mint quad. And these are both of these quads swatched out. And now I'm just going to swatch a few shades from the Colourpop Mint to Be palette to see if there are any comparisons. Heading into Minty. Okay, so those two are definitely different. Play It Cool. I want to compare it to this one here. This one and this one. They have slight differences as well. Okay, so these aren't as similar as I thought they would be. The last one I wanted to compare is Chill Factor. I want to see if it compares with this one right here. Nope. Okay. So definitely different shades. If you have the Colourpop Mint to Be, don't worry, you are not getting the same shades with the e.l.f. quads. But now we're just going to go on into an eye demo.
Okay, so my eyes are primed with my Gerard Cosmetics eye base, and we're heading in to the third shade from the Mint to Be palette with my Morphe M513. We're going to throw this all over the crease, blending it and blowing it outwards. This shade was very light. It did take a bit to build up, but once built up, it was actually pretty opaque and beautiful. So a little bit of patience goes a long way with this shade. Now we're heading into the fourth shade from the Mint to Be quad with my Morphe JS9 brush, and we're going to add some depth to this look, following through the crease, but not going too up with the shade. Now we're just going to cut our crease with the Gerard Cosmetics eye base and the Alamar packing brush. Y'all know the deal. And And now we're gonna hit the outer part of our lid with the first shade from the Mint to Be Quad. And this shade took a little bit of packing, but at the end it was beautiful, it was shiny, and I did only have to use my brush. But do take note that it takes a lot to get this color to show up the way that it did on my eye. Next up, we're going into the first shade from the Chocolate Mint Quad, and we're putting that on the inner half of the lid. I had no issues with this shimmer. It was way softer than the first one. Then we're heading into the fourth shade with our ABH brush and just blending this outwards to add some depth. And lastly, we're going to go back into the first shade that we used and blend out the brown into the crease.
Y'all, and this is the completed look right now, just because we are gonna try out the Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. So this is the foundation primer that came out with this collection, and I am super intrigued by this. What the fridge? I did not expect that. This is a gel. It smells exactly like the mask and the face wash, but this is not what I expected at all. It feels nice on the face. I do not own the Hydra Grip primer, but I feel like this would be comparable to that on how it feels on the skin in terms of like tackiness, because I've heard people explain that primer as a tacky primer, but this is super tacky. And it feels good on the face, not gonna lie. It actually does feel a bit refreshing. I'm kind of concerned as to how this is gonna play out with my foundation, just because I do not own any gel primers except for the J1 Jelly Pack, and I don't use that as foundation primer. I use that in conjunction with my moisturizer because it helps plump up my face. But I guess we're gonna try new things. It does feel really nice on the face though. Like, it feels like my skin is waking up right now. But I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face and we're gonna see how it looks with this primer beneath it. So I'll be right back. Alright y'all, so this is how the face looks entirely completed. I did use the NARS Soft Matte Foundation for reference, and it interacted with the primer very beautifully. Something I will say that's actually really cool about this primer is that when I put on my setting spray, the refreshingness and the mintiness of the primer was highlighted again. Like, I felt it again. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but whenever I'm spraying my face, I feel like the primer is more minty for some reason. I don't know. It feels good. The makeup feels very lightweight, honestly, and y'all, I put on a full coverage face today, so I think that this primer is actually going to do very well with this foundation. Not all primers are for every foundation, but I think these two interact very well. But now we're just going to talk about final thoughts. What do I think about the face wash? The face wash felt really refreshing. The scent wasn't as crazy as the mask scent, so I did actually appreciate that since it was less harsh on my nose. It did make my face feel really clean, and I do look forward to continued use. This is gonna go in my bathroom. And then, y'all, I did not expect to like this as much as I did. When I read that it was a moisturizing mask, I was like, oh, it's probably gonna burn my skin. Moisturizing masks usually irritate the crap out of my skin. This one did not irritate it at all. It made it feel soft. It made it feel like non-irritated. I don't know. I expected this to irritate my skin so badly, but it made it feel so nice. So if you do want to, you know, lock in moisture, this is your girl. And if you guys do have this mask, the Ole Henriksen Cold Plunge Pore Mask, the sensation that you feel with this mask is comparable to this one. It's not as intense, but it is very comparable. Another thing I will say, this is probably the only negative I have about this mask, is that the scent is a little bit too overwhelming. I did feel like my nose was getting slightly irritated with this one, and I have a very sensitive nose. On to the eyeshadow palettes. These are so freaking cute. I do kind of wish that they were both in one palette for some reason, because I feel like the browns would have been helpful in this quad, but if you get both of them, you get a cute little color story there, and I'm super happy that it's not too comparable to the Mint to Be by Colourpop. So these are good in my book. I will say that the shimmers in the chocolate mint are softer than the shimmers in the Mint to Be palette. This one, I know y'all can actually see it. I had to press and dig in to get the pigment from this one. This one was actually really nice and pigmented on my inner corner, but this one took a little bit of time to build up and get on my brush. So those are my notes for that. The mattes are actually stunning and beautiful, so I do recommend these because they're only $4. You can't go wrong with them. And then lastly, the primer. This is not a wear test, so I'm not sure how my makeup is gonna wear or how it's gonna affect the wear of my makeup, but right now it's all positive vibes. I definitely think my face looks flawless, so I think with continued use I'll probably end up really liking this primer, and we shall see if I put it into my rotation, but stay tuned for that. So overall, this collection was a big thumbs up in my book. I do recommend it if y'all are interested in stuff. I am actually the most excited about the skincare, so that's something I did not expect because I wanted the eyeshadow palettes so badly, and these are the stars of the show. So that's all I have for y'all today. Have a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you soon.